Wow, ICC, we're here. And that's the International Conscious Conference 2025. You know, he introduced me as Abimbola Junaid, that's my name, but I'm actually Ajemiposi as well. And that's my future. Just like Tola Shay did mention, and that was a beautiful session, sis. Just like she mentioned, you have to live your future. And your future is really in your hand right now. So I'm going to talk about the Youruba Cosmology, but because of time, I'm going to abbreviate what we would talk about. But one thing I want to say about the Youruba Cosmology is respect, honor. In fact, it doesn't even require you to be great in life or do any other thing, but make sure you follow the few principles of living, and then you would have lived a worthy life. So who would I be if I was standing here and didn't pay homage to Mr. Femi Jubal, who is a leader, who is an adult, who is the elder, and has decided to say we have to all be conscious. So with all due respect, can we just rise? And as we just say, Mr. Femi Jubal, you are elder. And that's a Yoruba thing, Agba. That is what Yoruba says. Mr. Femi Jubal, you are Agba. Imo onitan, oye oniku, igba onikparun. That means that your wisdom will not finish, your thoughts will never dry, and your time will be endless. Ashe, thank you very much. And that is also for you. Because you see, the moment you honor the elder, the moment you honor those ahead of you, literally, it will come back to you. Because the Youruba Cosmology is about karma. We don't do, we're waiting till you go to heaven. There's no heaven, no. It's simply karma. So if you give honor to your elders, be rest assured honor will come to you. Some people might even start by saying, oh, but I respect people a lot, and they don't respect me. No, no, no. You lived your karma by doing the right thing. You don't know what their karma is that they're going through. So it's just like I'll keep referencing those that have gone ahead of me, because I came in when Professor Aurora here, I think that is, was talking about the energy, and also Ajia, and then Tolashe. And they all talked about energy. And they all talked about alignment. So definitely, I'm going ahead now because I go on their shoulders. And that is one of the biggest things about Youruba Cosmology, and that I will be talking deeply about tomorrow. But I'll just lay the foundation today. And I'm going to just borrow from the last speakers as well. I want you all to just tell me, and if anyone wanted to pop out their traditional name. Can someone tell me their traditional name? I need you to shout that. I still can't hear. Oh my God, is this the hair painting? Ireti Dayo. Someone else? I'm still going to come back to that. Anyone else? Olayinka and? Sorry? By now you know I do noise. Please, what did you say? Can you repeat? I couldn't even. Fantastic. That is it. That is ownership of your names. And it wasn't by mistake. And if you could tell us the meaning of your name, Ireti. I mean, can you imagine? I can't even grasp it in English, but from Yoruba word, that is identity. And if we look in this room, and if we look at our trajectory in life so far till today, we probably somewhere, somehow, have been taught to not be proud of who we are. But those names, just like you mentioned it, if you stood in front of the mirror and just talked and just spoke your name in that mirror, look in that mirror and repeat that name, you'll be amazed the feeling you would have. So literally, when we talk about cosmology, it's just talking about the science of existence, how human beings developed. We are quick to blame the past or not even want to visit it. Because, oh, they failed us, especially when it comes to how did they allow them to come here and take us into slavery and all the, well, they must have done nothing, yeah? You're in it now, and how are you doing? You're in charge. So how are you doing right now? Any better? So really and truly, when you understand cosmology of any tribe, be it Yoruba, be it Igbo, Hausa, whatever, it is only showing you what existed. And it is also a reference point for you to know why you exist. Because believe it or not, you definitely are still part of the past generations. You're still part of your ancestors. And that is why in the UK, for example, I live in the UK, so if I make reference to that, if you went to register for the first time with a GP, they're not going to ask you, what's the name of the Prime Minister? They won't ask you, what is the best burger you've eaten? Can anyone tell me what they would ask you? Tell us about your family history. So if it wasn't that important to deal with you, so they might be your GP forever if you registered, unless you move somewhere else and stuff. So that they understand from the beginning that if you're going to leave the whole of your existence, so you definitely need your background. And those backgrounds, we might have been thought to say it doesn't matter. But when you go back to your cosmology, when you go back to your culture, when you go back to your belief system, how your people lived, it is just showing you how human beings became and where people are now, so that you appreciate the past and you are in the present, and then you're laying the foundation for the future. So like we've said about Mr. Femi, this would be written in his lineage forever that he did. What you're doing will be written. And so is it about anyone that stood in front of the plane too. They will write it in their history, if you know what I mean. You know, so we need to be careful that we are only holding time for the next generation. The past probably didn't hold it well, but you now have it in your hand, and where is it taking you? And the whole of you from the past to where you are now is equally important. And for me, it isn't so much as, oh, it was all good, it was all wonderful, there wasn't anything bad. Human beings, we all have our bad sides, if you want to be honest with it. But the truth of the matter really is that, can it be all bad? And I'll use myself as an example. My mother is my hero. She has a beautiful story, but was literally a funny, sad story, but the person that owned the story was not sad. So who am I to be sad? But if I really narrated it, you will all be like, let us go and protest. But that's her story. But let me go to my grandmother. So my grandmother, forever that have known her or knew her, she had a name. That name was sitting right in front of my face. It's the name on our street. It's the name on all of our documents. And the name didn't make sense to me because I was not interested in the past like that. But when I owned myself completely to be who I now am, and that is Ajemiposi, and that is the reason why we need to go back to the past as well. My grandmother revisited me and gave me that name again. And this is a name I've heard forever. It's still on the street. I actually went to look at the street signboard again. You've always been here, you know, because I couldn't even believe that I didn't even see it. I didn't even know it until now. And guess what the name was? Efunyela. And Efunyela means purity. And Yela means that all of universe is purity. Forget maybe there's war or anything. The infinite intelligence and Eledumare definitely wanted everything to be pure. And it is a gift to us. So it is about what are we using the universe for. So my grandmother then revisited me with the name. And I then went on to research the name. And then I found out the big, you know, history behind it. But just because I have now opened my heart and soul, I'm tapping back into all of those things. But I had started that journey, and she said, this is the time to give you that gift. So it shows you that you could be sitting on gold mines in your family history, your stories. And I believe more than anything else, it is ownership of who you are in totality. It isn't so much as, oh, I want to carry the placard that I am African, I am Igbo, I am, no, no, no. It's literally for you. It's for you to walk into a room and you own yourself 101%. It's for you to go into battles, because life is full of those, and still completely know who you are. It is for you to stand even when you're making the right decisions and your heart is saying, are you sure we should do this? We should not do, we should. And you're like, I know who I am, and you move forward. You're taking the whole of you with you. And one of the ways we need to take that back with us is to affirm who we are. Don't be ashamed of where you are from. Don't be ashamed of your tribe. Don't be ashamed of those beautiful names. Your name is so beautiful, I would learn it. But for the next 1 week, tell everyone that's your name. I'm telling you, sweetheart, you will see how you will be flying before you are walking. And you'll be telling your feet, we should walk, you know. You know, because the pride in it. And you too, you know, you just find something. I remember when I was working in the development sector, which is the only place I've worked, and I love it. And I will abbreviate my Abimbola name to Abi. And then when I changed it to Abimbola, and they would go around, oh, it's so hard to pronounce, and I'll just take a pen and a paper and put the A, B, just like you said we should do, and write it out. And like, study it today, study it tomorrow. By the next day, you will know how to pronounce it. And when you make your stance about who you are, definitely, yeah, okay, thank you. So definitely your name and your personality comes out. But another thing will happen to you. You will be like, what else is about me that I haven't fully harnessed? And you start that self-discovery from everything. Now, you'll be surprised if I said, with my work and everything, I really wasn't a public speaker. I wasn't. I'm really the sort of person that loves the research, and I love to be behind the scenes so much, and I love for everything to happen, and as far as everyone else is happy and everything has worked, I am deeply fulfilled. And that is me, and I said, that's my calling. I am not meant for public speaking, yeah? But then I had a mother who was a warrior, a mother who fought her own battles, a mother who stood for children, policies, development, and helped to shape the future of children. A mother who was an entrepreneur par excellence, realtor, just name it, she just carried on proving herself over and over. And a mother who fought community leaders to get justice. So in owning myself, did I go back to all those things? Because it's part of me. It's part of the gift I have. So when you look at your family history, don't look at that grandpa of yours that they said was a family, he was always making trouble. Find out what those troubles were. They might actually be good trouble. Just because people don't like anyone that stands for others, they call it bad. Probably that is what you need for your next level. Probably that is what you need for your business. Probably there's something in you that you would definitely already have, because like the last speaker said, everything you need, you have, you want inside of you. So for me, my transition into Ajemiposi is a lot of journey, but I want to tell you the biggest part of that journey and why it makes sense to me and why I'm doing this. So I have worked for, I would say, good 20 years in the development sector, and it's about from human development to women empowerment to good governance to, what, you name it. I've been there, done that, and won the T-shirt. But I realized that equality is not going to come from anyone else because it's cyclic. We're just going around this. At the moment, I was so proud to read last week when we were all protesting about GMOs. I'm like, Nigerians have woken up. Well, this is good. We've done that like 10, 20 years ago. We've been there. Then we talk about food scarcity. We've been there, but look at where we are. So it behoves on all of us to really look at the systems of what the system is. And I realize that I have done this. I haven't been fulfilled with the fact that we've just been going around in circles. No one is going to save anybody. And I hate this narrative that we're weak, we're not empowered, we don't have the resources, because we do. And then I realized that probably it would take us by ourselves to realize what we have. And when you look at the continent of Africa, when you look at women, which is another big part of that, when you look at our land, when you look at our resources, we do have much more than enough for all of us to grow and develop. So maybe this is my lifetime calling. Like, it is no longer about the West in that sense. Yes, we would still be a part of a bigger world because we have to partner, we need to collaborate. But can we go back to ourselves? We churn out graduates. We are looking for frozen foods and everything. We've talked about energy. They've talked to us about our earth. They've talked to us about the energy we have, the trees, the water, the foods that we have. It is what is good for our DNA. It is why we're on this part of the continent. And if you look at your 5 palms, your 5 fingers, is the Lady Mary not wise to have just instantly from creation shown us that it will never be equal? It's there every day when you wake up. Before you want to say, oh, they're the bad tribe. They are bad. Quickly have a quick glimpse and see that even the Creator knew that we would have our differences, but yet. So I think it's time for us to own who we are. And it's time for us to forgive ourselves for abusing ourselves and our nation and our land and everything. Yes, we didn't know. Yes, we thought everybody was for us, but sadly, it isn't. It's going to take so much work. But truthfully, for the population that we are, 8 billion in the world, 230 in Nigeria, it's going to be local solutions by you and I, every one of us, looking at what works best for us, what sort of education are we giving ourselves, what are we doing with our land, what are we doing with our talents, what does success look like in the African setting, and all of that within our culture as well as who we are. And I'm sure that is where the solution to the future lies. It wouldn't be more crossing of the sea, and it wouldn't be more japa, and it wouldn't be more banning and cursing in one big building. And neither is it going to be in thinking that amassing wealth that isn't for all is the future. The future will be authenticity, and that is you and I being proudly African. And the meaning of Ajemiposi is the last thing I would say today. Aje in the Youruba Cosmology means, does anyone know what it means? Aje, yeah? Sorry? Fantastic, I like that, wealth. Because people say money, but Aje is much more. It is wealth. Is Africa wealthy? Is your state wealthy? Is your state wealthy? So are we Ajays? Are we all Ajays already? Okay, so now if we walk the walk and till the land and do what we have to do, are we going to be more wealthy? And our future generations, are they going to carry on this legacy? So I guess we are all Ajemiposi. So you can see it's not about me. And that is me in a nutshell. Thank you. I don't know if anyone has any question or...
Okay, so does anyone have a question? We can take 2 questions. You have a question. You have to interact.
Sorry.
I need to give you the microphone. You have to say something.
There's something okay. I don't need a mic. Keep your mic to yourself. See, what about, you said we should embrace our name, which is a good thing. But what about a situation where you were named a name that the meaning maybe your mother or your father's experience while she was giving birth to you. So would you tell me to embrace such? Because it would be a reflection on my own life.
Yeah.
So, or would you tell me to, because I don't want to change my birth certificate because the name is already in my birth certificate. So
Yeah.
would you tell me that I should look for another name or look for another meaning to it or whatever?
Okay. So again, from the last speaker, what did she say to us about the power of what you want?
Yeah.
If that name doesn't work for you, why are you not changing it? I would guess you're an adult. I have added Ajemiposi to all my names, all my documents, so you can. So find out if you could change the name legally and change. Or just tell people that's your new name and change it. But don't forget the story behind why that name is. Not because you want to carry the wound of your mother or anyone, but understand their stories. Because again, we should do intergenerational stories. We don't do enough of that. Like I said, if I told you my mom's story, I think it's just made me humble. Like, damn, there's nothing about you. That woman went through everything, and she still made a life out of it. So at times when I'm depressed, I get up like, compared to. So again, it's not because they gave you that name. Indirectly, they're telling their story through you. So you could appreciate it, like, okay, but don't label me with your story, but appreciate where they're coming from, and maybe say that and tell that in your own story as to how you became this new person and your new name. So you can always change the name. Yeah, you're welcome.
Let's hear from her.
So, I'm very grateful I really you for your class and
Thank
I
you.
enjoyed every bit of it.
Thank you.
And then having to realize that you mentioned there's always a story behind the names we have. It has made me realize that my parents, they actually did a great job having to name their kids. For 5 girls, and I am very, very proud, glad, and happy I got that.
Fantastic to know, yeah. So what's the beautiful name? Yes, let's hear it. Mimbe. Wow, love is... Sure.
When I was coming here, people, are you here? Can I have that gift? And I said to myself, I said, if anybody mentioned that their value is love, I have a gift for them, so you have a gift. People,
See? Can I quickly have the mic? So I want to ask you, when was the last time you appreciated your parents for that name? But you see, you did it instantly, and the universe is saying you're rewarded. So what would that gift do to you now in reaffirming that name in you for life? That's it. So when you start embracing those things about you, what is held, what is yours, the universe will release it to you. It's in the name, it's in the water, it's in the food, everything. For example, my name is Abimbola. So literally the meaning is that I was born into wealth, or like, but when I first traveled abroad, and I would go to the cash point, I didn't see any money coming out though. And then also I was walking on the pavement. Fantastic, thank you so much for that. See? So, and then the pavement, there was no money on the floor. I'm like, I called my father, Daddy, you 419 me. This thing is not bringing money out from the cash machine. And it's not bringing it out. He said, carry on, it will bring out money. But you know what? Every time I just call that name of mine, it's a driving motivation, like, I can't fail. Because how can they call me Abimbola and I will lack? So, and lack doesn't necessarily mean you will always have in your bank account. But like the last speaker said, it's about inside of you, you know that it's just temporary. Yeah, you're welcome.
Can we give her a better round of applause?